Are you familiar with the term feng shui? Well, the opposite of feng shui is Wabi-Sabi. And Wabi-Sabi says that there is beauty in imperfection. And that's what I do.
Baxter Black is a collector of things. He's a collector of stories and a collector of ideas.
It took 1.25 inch washer. That's a bolt big enough to hold 2 railroad ties together.
He takes our imperfect lives and gives them poetry.
I didn't even write a poem for fun other than college till I was in my 30s.
Baxter Black is a cowboy poet. He celebrates a lifestyle that some say is vanishing. His books have sold millions, but still.
I don't think of myself as a writer even. I think of myself as an entertainer.
His ranch, just outside of Benson, Arizona, is clearly his pride and joy.
We got deer here, and javelina, and bobcats, and coyotes, and all kinds of stuff.
And a source of inspiration.
You gotta like a town where the city seal is a cow, a locomotive, and a box of dynamite.
But he's quick to point out,
we do not have a restaurant called Le Sans Souci. Come.
Originally from Las Cruces, New Mexico, he came to southern Arizona by way of Colorado, where he spent most of his working life.
That'll do. That'll do. You know, I never cared where I lived. You know, if it was in the West, that's all I cared. You know, I went where the work was. That's the way you go.
It was a summer job at a local feedlot where he found his calling.
And I can remember when it happened to me. The first time I put on a plastic sleeve and put my arm up the back of a cow and discovered a whole new world.
Baxter Black became a large animal vet.
That looks pretty. There's lots of country and there's lots of cow people here. Maybe that's one reason it feels so at home.
It was the rural lifestyle along the border that brought him home.
You could drop me any place along this border, within 100 miles of this border, all the way from Brownsville to San Diego, on either side of the border, and I could find my way home, or I'd know how to feed myself. You know, I'd never be lost.
But there was a time when he did feel lost. His dad died when most young boys need their dads the most. It was his mom who helped him through.
My mother is my hero. I know what it's like to go to work, because if you wanted anything, that's what you did. And I watched her. So there is nothing I will not do for her. Come here.
He admits that he was a handful as a young man.
So, you know, I skated by. I wasn't a very good student. I got through vet school, but it was hard. It was just awfully hard for me.
You might say he's traveled a rocky road to get where he is today.
This one is from the Gettysburg battlefield. And this one is from Sisters, Oregon. No, this is from Sisters, Oregon. And this little beautiful rock is from Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And so I bring them home.
Along the way, he's collected a box full of memories.
Well, I take books when I go, ship books. And when I come back, I got these boxes. And so if I find a rock that I like, it fits in a box, and so I bring them home and put them in my walls. And
Baxter Black is a collector of things.
This is one of the joys of my life, the 1969 Ford F-253 quarter-ton 4-speed with split rims and a manual choke.
Every cowboy needs a pickup truck and a room with a view.
This is the best view on the whole place. I can't say it's the reason I bought the property, because I didn't know it, but sometimes you just find treasures. I actually brought this outhouse from Colorado with me. Fully functional, used on a daily basis. Next week it's Nashville and Elko, Nevada, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, got a little job in Tucson.
Baxter Black is also an entrepreneur when he's not writing poetry or his novels, his monthly columns, or doing his radio show on NPR. His staff keeps him busy crisscrossing the country.
Well, I just called to check in for this weekend and make sure everything's all right and you still want me to come.
He says he's not introspective. He doesn't think much about how he got here. He's just here.
I thought I was a songwriter, and I thought I was pretty good, but I also realized finally in the end I wasn't. And how I was a good poet, I have no clue. And I don't even know that I'm a good poet, but I can sure sell a lot of them.
He writes all this stuff the long way, by hand, but with lots of help.
We don't have a name for it. I'm thinking about calling it Cowgirl Growl.
Everyone has a part to play as the story unfolds.
In conclusion, it gives me great pleasure to recognize the contribution of my neighbor, the comedic, comely character consultant, Carolyn Nolting.
That's me.
People tell him stories everywhere he goes. They are his audience and his inspiration.
I cannot make up stories that are more outrageous than what really happens. When one of those old geezers out there who really is a cowboy and really is a good cowman and really does know what he's talking about laughs at your jokes and says, well, sounds like you've been there, kid. And I'm not a kid anymore, but that's as good a compliment as I could get.
Baxter Black is a collector of stories. The best ones are about his own family.
You know, I had a pretty closed mind and a pretty closed heart for many, many years. And it took a while for that to open up. And it opened up with my daughter. I can't even remember when it happened. I don't think I'd cried a tear since my grandma died, you know. And I was on the road and I came home and she was about 11 or 12. And I drove all the way into Denver to go to this track meet she was at, and she came running down the track. I mean, her legs were just flying everywhere, and I can still see it. And I just got up out of the grandstands and went around underneath and cried. And I realized, I think, what I had. Takes a while sometimes.
Says the man who's not introspective, who loves cows and his family, and refuses to give up on a certain way of life.
They say they're endangered species, destined to fade into footnotes, like ropes that never get throwed. To that I reply, bull feces. They're just hard to see from the road. Adios. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then.